thank you for joining me. My name is Alyssa and I am a science teacher in Southern Illinois, and I'm also the founder of Teacher on a Trip. So today I'm going to show you a quick video on how you can create drag and drop assignments for your students using Google Slides. And you can quickly push these out through Google Classroom if you guys have that at your school. These are really great for just checking student understanding or as like a little activity that's going to be a bit more interactive than simply just writing down the answers. Here's an example of what we'll be making today. As you can see, students can click on the background, but they're not able to manipulate anything. But what they can do is move the terms and the images that you've set for them into the correct places. On my Teachers Pay Teachers store, I do have some available and we'll be making some more if you want to take a look at those. Right now, for the rest of this school year, I'm just going to keep them at $1. I really want teachers to be able to kind of relieve some of the stress. So I've created the backgrounds in Canva. So if you have a program like Canva or other like digital editing software, then you could make some more interesting and detailed backgrounds like this, but ours, we're going to just stick to the basics today. Also on my Teachers Pay Teachers store, in the same file, I have black and white versions. That way, if you have students who need to have papers printed off, they could still do these. They would just write the terms in the correct places instead of manipulating them through the Google slide. So I wanted to make sure it was accessible to everybody. And also included in the purchase for just $1 for the rest of the school year is an answer key, so you can check quickly if students have understood the topics. So I'm just going to close these out. And my Teachers Pay Teachers store is Teacher on a Trip. So if you want to look at some of those. Okay, I'll show you now how you can make these for your students. They're really great for doing reviews. It's just kind of a quick check for understanding. We're just going to delete these. We don't need that at all. So and then start with the background. I like to get this out of the way. And you can choose an image if you want to get a little fancier, or just choose a color. Let's pick a fun blue color. Okay, done. Okay, wow, that's bright. Okay, I'm just going to call this Types of Rocks Backgrounds. And you're going to see that this isn't the actual file that I will put on my Google Classroom. And so you'll see in a little bit why we call that backgrounds. And then we have another one that we'll do for the students. Okay, I'm going to put a text box. So insert text box to make my title, Types of Rocks. And I don't want to spend too much of your time making this fancy, but you could definitely get really sucked into making sure every single line and font and everything is perfect and beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to set that right there, and then I'm going to make another text box for the directions. So place the terms, images in the appropriate location. And I'll just leave that up there. Okay, now I'm going to create the columns. Insert line. So what we're doing right now is just building the background that students will not be able to manipulate. I want that to be black, just a little thicker, and then I'm going to copy and paste it because I need another one that same size. And then I'm going to insert some vertical lines. And these are my columns that students will then sort those terms and images into. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm going to make all of these black to match the other lines like that. Okay. I like to keep this line or this column on the left a little bit bigger because this is where all of the terms and images are going to start out. And so that needs to be a little bit more space available. And then I insert text box, sedimentary. Easiest for me if I center it. Oops, I don't know what happened there. So I'll just copy and paste that text box. to create the rest of my labels. And my perfectionism needs to get that right in the center. Okay. And lastly, igneous. Okay, that is the background then. This is the part that we do not want students to be able to manipulate. So I'll just file, download, and we're going to download this as a PNG image. So that's going to save, oh, what did I just do? File, download, PNG. There we go. Okay, so that's going to save it to my downloads file, and we will come back to that in a moment. The next thing you're going to do is create a new slide. And again, you don't need this stuff. This slide will be used for creating those terms and images that students will manipulate. I don't want students to be able to accidentally delete any of the words or like any of the letters, change the spelling or anything. So I'm going to create text boxes that I can type in. So I'll just type layers. And I will just do a couple here just to give you an example of how we do this. Forms from Lava. If you wanted to do an image, you could insert an image that you've already saved to your computer. I have a picture of granite right there that I took before, and I don't need it to be quite so big. So when you are creating this over here on the slide, you want it to be go ahead and crop it how you want it. It just kind of saves you time later. All right, perfect. So of course you would make more terms than that, but just for demonstration, we'll do that. Also, go ahead and download that as a PNG. And then I like to open a new slide for my students' work. That way, if I ever want to go back and edit anything, I have that option and I don't have to start completely over from scratch. So, oops. Goodness gracious, typing. Types of rocks. Okay, again, I don't need this, so I'll delete it. And now I'm going to insert a background, but this time I'm going to choose an image. I'm going to choose the image of the background that I already created in the previous step. There we go. So now this cannot be manipulated. And then inserting those text boxes. I have another image of the text that I want students to be able to use. And I'm going to crop this. So I just see one of those. And then I put that in my left column. And I just do that again. Insert image. Another thing you could do once you have this is copy and paste it so that you're not having to go back and insert the image every time. Just saves you a few minutes. Oops. If you make a mistake, don't panic. Just push Control-Z, edit, undo, and everything is good. There's my last one. And like that. And then you just save it. And now you are ready to put this on Google Classroom. When you upload it to Google Classroom, make sure you make a copy for every student. That way they can still manipulate the text boxes, but they're not able to manipulate the background anyway. All right. Thank you for tuning in, and reach out to me at teacheronatrip.com if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.